Among four core subjects measured by this survey, a customer responsibility is the only one, with all statements have a mean of above 3 point on 5-point scale. This is consistent with our previous observation that companies put customer a top priority when doing CSR because simply they bring income and profit to companies, and the main motivation of CSR for company is marketing, advertising, public relation, branding, and the similar. Among 25 items, 6 get over 4 points, which cover the basic things like consumer rights to safety and rights to information. The area where companies are weaker include product maintenance, accessing health risk in the products and service, and educating consumers on their selection of product with environmental impact. Product maintenance after sales service remaining critical issues in consumer protection in Vietnam due to the short-termism of companies and unethical selling practice of salesperson. Looking at the business ownership, multinational company 100% will list an average effort and even be active in all areas such as having clear contract with customers, providing product recall when errors happens, accessing health risk to customers before product launch, or educating customers on environmental impact. SOE takes second position in these areas, while profit-owned companies are much less active in these areas. All multinational companies have a clear understanding of advertising and marketing. They can distinguish and have different efforts in advertising and marketing, while 33% of former SOEs, 25% of private company, and 12% of SFE do not have clear-cut perception of these two concepts. On 26 items of this subject, companies in Vietnam are most committed with tax obligations and providing allowance for retired employees. These are the only item with a mean of higher than 4 points. Paying tax obligation is a legal responsibility of company, but providing allowance for retired employees is a philanthropic responsibility of saying thanks to veteran of company. This second statement is exercised actively in former and the current SOEs and the government organizations. These are three organizations with government-related one. Foreign-directed firms, including joint venture and multinational companies, are second in providing allowance to retired employees. Less than 40% of private company and listed company doing so. The two statements: we maintain transparent relationship with local government, and we encourage formal education for children receive a mean of 3.7. Maintaining good relationship with local government is among motivation for company to do CSR that helps the company to gain better access to local resources and favorable investment conditions. The findings that companies in Vietnam are active in formal education for children confirms the previous qualitative research by the author that the first CSR priority by the company in Vietnam is education-related initiative like talent development, vocational training, awareness raising, building school, providing school hardware, scholarship, then philanthropic activities like donation, disaster charity, gratitude activities, and finally environmental initiative. Community-related activities that receive least effort from company, including transferring technology to community, consulting community on target group for social investment, calculating social impact, and social reportings. This can be explained by the fact that CSR itself is still a new concept for Vietnamese company. This practice requires high level of CSR awareness and practice such as like stakeholder analysis, social accounting reporting, while high level of CSR awareness as well. This observation might be true also in other developing countries. State-owned enterprise and multinational firms are most active in transferring technologies to community. 28% respectively, then private owned and joint ventures. It is important to note that all NGOs are active in transferring technology because this might be in their mission itself. And looking at the business sector firms, 75% of mining companies have minimum efforts in transferring technologies to communities. 31% of manufacturing firms do not make effort at all in this, but there are the same amount of 31% of private companies are quite active in technologies transfers. ISO 106,000 is used in this research as framework to measure the activeness and degree of compliance of firms in Vietnam to this international guiding standard on social responsibility of organizations. The analysis and the figure shows that companies in Vietnam are most active in labor issues, then customer rights protection, promotion, less caring of community interests, and less in environmental issues. It is obvious for companies to make great efforts in satisfying customer needs, however, acting ethically, which is higher than the law says, is not an easy task for companies in Vietnam. The good side is that companies are aware of the importance of human resources, complying with basic labor code and International Labour Organization requirement. Finding shows the consistency with Cameron's CSR pyramid, where organizations in Vietnam comply with laws at high degree, and the least efforts goes to ethical and then voluntary responsibilities. Multinational companies take leadership in most areas of CSR management, joint ventures being also foreign invested company in some cases share similarity with MNC, but in most cases share most with local company in terms of CSR practices. SOEs, state-owned enterprise, also take lead in many CSR areas such as customer protection, community relationship, and employees' rights. In the area of community development, even being a local company, he is normally not acquainted with CSR practice due to its characteristic of a public utility organization. SOEs is as active as MNC and much more active compared to local company in this community relation and labor rights protection. However, as a local company, environmental protection is still a new concept and is not exercised by SOEs. Private companies have lowest evaluation in all 4 areas of CSR. However, among them, few companies follow international practice in consumers, labor issues, and community development. Social accounting and reporting is absent in local companies. The study shows a long way for companies in Vietnam to become close to this international standard of social responsibility, especially in community relationship and environmental protection. The significance of this research is to provide an overview of CSR compliance and practice of firms in Vietnam, where the literature is still limited. As ISO is well known and globally accepted, organization and firm managers, policymakers in Vietnam can refer to 3 areas of this research for their own use. Firstly, using the questionnaire developed to conduct self-assessment. Secondly, the research findings provide a benchmark for companies to know their performance in terms of CSR. And thirdly and finally, knowing area of strength and weaknesses to make change to policies and company practices to leverage competitive advantage, building stronger brand, and creating higher value to stakeholders, including shareholders. Thank you for your listening, and do not hesitate to contact me for any clarification if you need. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.